Let me see if I got my thoughts together. I want to talk about legal immigration. Legal immigration is the matter of coming to a country based on not just common opportunity with the people of the country. You know, you're going to avail yourself of the perks of the region, the economy. I'm not talking about that. The deepest thing that's going on with a group of people is the investment in shared space that we raise and acclimate our children in. We socialize our children in shared space. In the shared space is enshrined best practices of the collective beliefs enshrined in law and culture. I would say American culture is bad, but I would say the history of the American legal system or the Constitution, the idea behind it, the ideas, the principles behind it, are worth rallying around as human beings. The American Constitution is an agreement among Americans. Okay, so when you come into the country without considering the agreement, then you're likely to be completely outlawed, even naively outlawed. And outlawed means to perturb or insult the people of the nation. The people of the nation are people of this creed called Constitution. You're going to come into that space and not give a damn about that creed. That is disrespectful to that people, and is disrespectful to the hopes that are enshrined, the hopes that are represented in the Constitution that the people rally around, shake hands on, and agree upon. That's what's going on. When you talk about borders around a nation, you are talking about protecting a promise, protecting an agreement, protecting trust. Okay, if we agree to handle certain stresses in a certain way, and we agree that we believe in handling those stresses in that way, that is called a trust. When you go past this line, we're going to treat you this way. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. If you go past this line, we're going to treat you that way. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. That's nation. You're going to come in a motherfucking nation and not give a fuck about the fucking agreement. You're going to come in the motherfucking nation and you're not going to say, oh, well, I'm upsetting the people of that nation. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's why we have borders. We have borders to substantially fuck you. If you think that what's better is on the inside of the fucking borders, when we keep you out, we're fucking you. Okay. If it's actually better inside the nation, then we're saying fuck you. The borders mean fuck you. Outside, you're the dogs. Even Jesus cast people into the nether gloom because even heaven is an agreement on certain principles. And even God holds up the fucking borders. Cast them out into the nether gloom. Why? Because you're not playing the same fucking game. We're trying to play a game. We're trying to grow a garden. We're not trying to fucking poison the goddamn crops. We're all commonly eating from this project. And then you come in pissing on the fucking foliage? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We have enough of a problem where our fatherlessness is failing to socialize our own children, our own natural born children, who are so emotionally upset they don't have a time to ponder what the agreement is. Just because we may have that problem doesn't mean you get to piggyback off the plight or the grievances of that improperly parented group of people that are in this country. In other words, that's a headache that we generated. Just because we generated that headache doesn't mean we want to fucking deal with you as an added headache. You're not actually a part of the headache fucking population, bitch. You're not. So I'm going to tell you, everybody tries to piggyback off of grievances, historical grievances within this country. I'll just name two. I'll name two. 400 years of whipped people working against their will gives pause. Anybody who says you're against me because I'm black, at least people give pause. Anybody who says, and that's not this nation, but the Holocaust. There are certain populations that if you say, my case is a reverberation of a historical plight or a historical injustice like gas chambers, 6 million Jews, right? If you say, my circumstances are a reverberation and therefore to be considered in light of this atrocity that happened in history, it gives people pause. Naturally, rightfully. If you say, my plight is a reverberation of 400 years of injustice, slavery, it gives pause. People consider if that's actually logically connected. And that pause is a certain measure of respect. And I want to say this, the Black Lives Matter people that actually use the plight of black people to promote communism. You use your black faces. You put on ski masks when you don't even have black faces and pretend to be, you know, I don't know, in allegiance with people who have grievances attached to 400 years of suffering. That is a nasty hijack of people's legitimate pain if they haven't grown out of it. There are a lot of people who they get on public assistance. They never were disrespected or harmed by a white person. But the first thing they're ready to do is cause people or discombobulate people. That means they stop and give pause to 400 years of suffering. The first thing people do who never were treated badly by a white person is say, all white men are the devil. Like, this shit is intellectually dishonest. If your pain was caused by your bad life choices, don't say that your pain is happening at the hands of contemporary or present day white people. Maybe, it's not white people. Stop using the respect given to the history of the plight of black people. It dishonors that pain. It dishonors the fact that it was actually a real injustice, okay? But you not taking care of yourself because you're ignorant or lazy or anything like that is not an injustice. If you have bad results because you didn't take care of yourself, that's not an injustice. If your parents didn't parent you right because they conceived you in the backseat of a car where they were just getting some ass, they didn't love each other, they had no commitment called a marriage, and you were raised in some crazy loose ass way. And a lot of the things that should be the birthright of children were not, apportioned to you by your own parents. That's not the fucking nation. That is your own fucking loose sex culture, making you the product of sex suffer a certain type of poverty, the poverty of low amounts of parental love, consideration, and preparation. That is a type of poverty. If you're suffering from that poverty, and then you say that white people did that shit to you, you're a fucking idiot. You make all black people look like we're fucking stupid. We can't keep the fucking plot. We can't keep the fucking rational, logical connection of events. In other words, if your pops banged it out with your mother in some stupid way where there was no preparation for your fucking life, follow the goddamn plot. White people didn't make that motherfucker screw that woman. White people didn't make that woman open their legs. Everybody's trying to piggyback off the 400 years of suffering of black people because it gets certain respect and pause. When you cite slavery, people pause because that shit was real. But if you're using sexual immorality and the fruits of sexual immorality as the real cause and you're trying to scapegoat slavery, you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry to tell you, you're intellectually dishonest to yourself, but you are psychologically dishonest to the rest of society. Okay? Nobody wants to be pinned under a stupid bullshit claim like that. Nobody wants to go to court over some shit that they didn't do, right? And you got to stop suing white people. Okay? The people who started Black Lives Matter, they're suing white people. They're dishonoring the real 400 years of suffering. Why? Because they want to use the pause given, the respect given as a wedge to start normalizing Antifa riots. People go, yeah, maybe they should be rioting. But they used the historical plight of black people to do that. Black people are tired of you dishonoring legitimate suffering for, like, the plight of homosexual. Homosexual people are just as bruised as black people. Homosexual people were whipped for 400 years. You're going to use the plight of black people as a model, as a platform for the gay agenda? You're going to use the historic suffering, the actual stripes and whips of 400 years to normalize sexual immorality? You're going to use the plight and the actual whips and stripes on the backs of 400 years to legitimize. You try to legitimize transgenderism? What the fuck is wrong with you people? You are dishonoring real people's suffering of 400 years. You are dishonoring even black people. You're on the fucking dole, and then you don't get the fuck up. You didn't find a way. Okay? So say you failed to find a way, and the American dream just is out of your grasp after you tried. But if you don't even try and you're just going to say it wasn't going to work because the white man's holding us down, you're lazy. You're hiding your fucking laziness or your lack of courage behind something that really happened that caused people to suffer. Cut this shit out. I can't think of anything more disrespectful to the souls of black slaves that you would try to piggyback your stupid fucking political agenda of communism, your stupid fucking sexual immorality, and your stupid fucking, lazy ass living on welfare lifestyle on the backs of black people that actually got whipped, bitch. Now, there's one more group of people that they're saying is get some sort of like morally protected status. That is the people that came over the fucking border. What a distraction. Because it's not even about slavery at all. At all. At all. What a fucking distraction. A nation is about a common creed. You come over the border, you're saying, fuck your creed. You come over the border without coming in through the conversation of what Americanism is, and you're saying, fuck your creed. We get to decide after we vet you, talk to you, to see if you're actually in agreement with the project that's been going on ever since the founding, the signing, the Declaration, and the ratification, Constitution, Bill of Rights. That's an agreement. The agreement is to practice certain principles to get predicted results from the practice. You're not in the agreement. This has nothing to do with some bullshit, fallacious attachment to the history of slavery, you stupid motherfucker. Go ahead and keep trying to tie those two things together, and you will drive black people who know that this shit is not connected, will look at the people who are trying to connect those two things, and they'll go, I ain't messing with those people no more. So you woke ass Democrats, go ahead, keep pushing it. And black people are going to slip through your fingers. I'm here, Princess Leia, saying the more you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers. I'm telling you. Anyway, nature renders judgment. Reverend Moon said that.